So we are about 4 months out now from the release of WWE 2K24, and somehow, by the grace of God himself, we're still getting new bugs in the game. It seems like every time a patch is released for this game, more issues appear, and the shortcomings that are already in the game get brought even more to the forefront. And people seeing what kind of game this really is, and how much 2K really doesn't appear to give a shit about the quality of their product. So let's talk about it. Before we jump in too hard, I want to talk about the MyFaction controversy. This is a more recent issue where it seems like one of the MyFaction cards costs upwards of hundreds of dollars to achieve. And let me just say, these pay-to-win card games exist in every sports game currently available, so I'm not here to question why the game mode exists. Right? We all know why the game mode exists. It's to make more money after the game's release, and that's not a bad thing in theory. Games are expensive, and every single developer on the face of the planet in 2024 has some kind of post-purchase microtransactions, unless your name is Elden Ring. It's very rare in 2024 to find a game with absolutely no microtransactions. The difference, however, is this game is an initial cost of $60. Not only that, but the only updates this game really gets is new MyFaction cards and DLC that sometimes has nothing to even do with wrestling. The most current DLC for this game is the Pat McAfee DLC, and while Pat McAfee is a commentator on Raw, so it makes sense why you would want him in the game, what does Pat McAfee's friends have to do with WWE or wrestling other than they are friends of Pat McAfee? Or Post Malone for that matter. The problem with these modes is really that they give the player absolutely no value, and beyond that, this game does not, in my opinion, deliver enough value to the player otherwise to justify having the mode in the first place. The game is $60 to $70 depending on where you buy it, with a pay-to-win game mode that receives all of the devs' attention based on the way that they communicate. Oh, but you can earn the cards by just simply playing the game, some people say. Okay, yeah, let me just bore myself to death by playing a random match after random match to just get a slightly better card. You can't even play these online most of the time because the online is complete garbage and bugs out on you. So you're basically playing a pay-to-win game mode by yourself. You're just spending money to compete against yourself. You're doing all these grinding and competing in all these matches because you don't want to pay, so you earn the cards for free, but again, you're playing these matches against yourself. So you're just out here grinding for cards so you can use them against what? The AI? Get the fuck out of here. This would be like if you sat down to play poker, and there's 5 other people at the table. You sit down, you pay $60 to play this game of poker. After you pay the $60, the dude on the other end of the table is like, hey, I know you paid $60, but in order to get cards, you got to pay us another whatever amount of money to actually get the cards. Okay, so now you've spent $60 to play the game, and now you've spent an additional whatever amount of money to get the cards to play the game. So you're at the poker table, you're ready to play, you've bought the game, you've bought your cards, and now when you're ready to play, imagine if everybody else at the table got up and left. So now you're just sitting at the table with the game you bought and the cards you bought, and you don't even get to play them against other people. You have to sit there and play by yourself. That sounds just incredibly fun to me. And even with all that being said, if you spend money on this mode, you deserve to have your money stolen. I'm sorry, but no one is sorry for you. This is just natural selection in a digital space. I mean, these are just worse versions of NFTs. At least with NFTs, like, you at least get to keep the NFT. These cards don't even carry over to the next game. They're completely useless after this game is dead next March when they release 2K25, which has already been reported to be in development not even 4 months after this game's release. Alright, so imagine buying this game and you want to download your favorite wrestler, or someone who's not included in the main roster, and it just doesn't work. You go to the community creations like you're supposed to, you click on the wrestler, and you can get one of these issues that I'm about to name, and this, again, is just a short list of the things that might happen. These are issues that have been in this game since day one, since release 4 months ago, and either haven't been addressed, or 2K has said that they just don't know how to fix it. So, the content damaged issue. You go to download a superstar off the community creations, you click on it, the preview looks good, you click download, and it says content damaged, and the CAW doesn't download. You could also do the same thing where you click on the CAW, see the preview, go to download it, you click download, it shows downloading, and then it just quits and nothing happens. Another issue that was added to the game post-release, which you really got to give them credit for. I mean, most games add features post-release. This game actively adds bugs to itself every time they patch it. So CAWs or community creations after patch 1.10 are now just completely bald. If you want evidence of this, you can go see my universe mode that I put out yesterday. While playing through the universe mode, I just stumbled upon the fact that Jeff Jarrett and Ric Flair have just been completely made bald. And the beautiful thing about that issue is I've had these CAWs downloaded for months now. This isn't something that I just downloaded yesterday or post this 1.10 patch. This can affect CAWs that you've already downloaded. So you don't even have to go to the community creations for this one. And I think that's just swell that they figured out a way to fuck you over even more than before. The universe mode is supposed to be the game mode in this game that keeps you playing it. Even if you don't do a bunch of random modes like I do and try to make the game look as least like WWE as possible, even if you're just doing a WWE mode where you make it exactly like what you see on TV, you download the tag team championships, they don't work. You download the new attires for the superstars and they don't work. You book your universe mode and halfway through it you realize you have to change something. Maybe a superstar's name is spelt wrong. Or maybe you realize that they are bald now, so you have to go in and manually fix it yourself. But let's say you do that. You have to go out of universe mode to fix something. The next time you come back in universe mode, the show that you booked will be... All right, and this is future editing me, editing myself in the video, because while getting some B-roll of me downloading and showing all the issues, I downloaded, or I tried to download, a WrestleMania 40 arena, and it has glitched out every single superstar. Well, Conor McGregor's fine, but it has glitched out nearly every superstar I have in the game. And there you go. It's glitched out every single superstar I have in the game. Let's click on one and just see what's happening. So let's click on Booker T. He doesn't exist. Booker T is no longer there. And the game has crashed. This is frozen. I cannot click on anything. All right, so I've loaded the game back up. Now let's see if I go into universe mode what happens now. Okay, so this is my Attitude Era universe mode. It has completely removed WCW Nitro. So Nitro is not there anymore. No pay-per-views exist, except for ones with just the WWE logo on them. Where did that go? Okay, well, it went away, so I guess it's not there anymore. You can see down at the bottom of the screen, the rivalries are still there. It has removed seemingly every render from a custom superstar. So let me go into the roster. Oh, Nitro's still there. Let's click on it and see what happens. So it's just blank. Participants. Okay, so there you go. After restarting the game, you can see... Let me actually go into the custom superstar so you can see it better. But yeah, that's my whole universe mode that I run on this channel. Just completely fucked now. Who cares? Let's go superstar. And there you go. It has removed every single render from the custom superstars that I have downloaded. And I want to click on one because these are previews. And again, we don't know if the previews are going to be accurate. So let's click on Punk. And there you go. There's CM Punk. No tattoos, no hair, no face texture. That's CM Punk. That is crazy that this happened literally while I'm recording this video. That is actually insane. Who else can we click on? Let's click on Sting. He's got a bunch of graphics on his character. And he doesn't exist. And the game's frozen. So there you go. And even with all of these issues, all of these things I've said so far, and maybe even some things that I've missed, even with all these problems, the base game could still be fun if the developer put any amount of effort into the base game modes that are provided. You see, gamers are unique in the fact that even if the game is buggy, and even if some things are broken, players will still continue playing the game if the game is good. Which is why this game seems to have lost most of its player base outside of diehard fans, and even some of those people are giving up. Because, I mean, really, what is there to do in the game at this point? Let's say you want to play showcase mode. Okay, instead of giving you control over historic matches and letting you play them, here are some specific objectives you have to try and recreate. And, like, even that's not bad. You want us to recreate old matches. It sounds cool on concept. But the problem is when you jump in and you have to complete some of the most boring and tedious objectives that anyone could think of to add into a video game. And the reward you get from this are locked superstars, which you can use in all of the other game modes. Again, in theory, not a bad thing. It only becomes an issue when the path to unlocking these wrestlers is mind-numbingly tedious and boring. Do you really want to spend hours unlocking an alternate version of a wrestler when you could just go to the community creations and wait, you can't download them either because the community creations are either locked until you upload that superstar, or they have one of the problems I mentioned earlier where they just flat out don't work at all. And I've said in previous videos, I don't want this game to be dog shit. I love wrestling games. Most of you have been playing these games since you were young. I have been playing these games since I was young, and we want them to be legit good. But you know, here we are, 4 months from release, and there's nothing to do in the game, and every patch makes it more of a chore to want to play it. All of the fixes that the company releases add about 5 more bugs into the game that add a layer of complexity that most people aren't going to spend time to get past. Are you going to spend an hour or two setting up your universe mode exactly how you want it, only for it to be fucked up next time you load the game up, and you have to spend another hour or two just fixing shit that broke? I mean, you're not even advancing your universe mode anymore. You're not even playing it. You're just trying to get it to work. And as I said before, if any of these issues are fixed, I will put out another video saying so. When 2K unbanned What's the Status, I put out a video saying that they did that. But none of these issues have been fixed to this point, 4 months from release. And their track record says that they're probably not going to be. I mean, let's just be real. I mean, this game is a yearly release. Do you really think 4 months out from the game's release, they care about any of these bugs? But yeah, if any of these things are fixed, if the game somehow is able to turn itself around, I will be here, and I will be one of the first people to put out a video saying so, but I wouldn't hold your breath on that one. Let me know what you think about the state of 2K24 down in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.